We've mapped Mars in perfect detail. We've driven robots across its surface. But 99.9% of Earth's ocean floor has never been seen by human eyes. Not once, not ever. So what's actually down there in the darkness? What entire worlds exist in crushing pressure and total blackness, hunting with light traps and glass teeth, living on the scraps that fall from above? Take a breath. Imagine falling straight down through the ocean. The first few seconds, it's warm and blue, then the light starts to leave, and it keeps leaving for another 7 miles. Everything down there is built for the dark, and some of it is built to hunt. Let's start at the top where you've actually been. The first 200 meters is the sunlight zone. This is the ocean you know. Coral, dolphins, tuna, the blue you see from a boat. Almost every animal you can name lives right here in this thin, bright layer. It feels like the whole ocean. It's barely the skin of it. Because at 200 meters, the sunlight runs out of power. There's not enough left for a plant to live on. And the moment plants can't grow, everything changes. Welcome to the twilight zone. From 200 down to about 1000 meters, the light fades from deep blue to almost nothing. Down here, the animals start to look wrong. Eyes get huge to catch any scrap of light. Bodies turn see-through or blood red because red looks black in deep water. It's camouflage, and a lot of them start making their own light. This is where you meet the animals that glow, not for decoration, to lure, to signal, to hide. The twilight zone is also where the daily commute happens. The biggest migration on Earth every single night as billions of animals rise toward the surface in the dark and sink again before dawn. You've never seen it. It's happening under every ocean right now. Keep falling. At 1000 meters, the last of the light is gone. Completely. This is the midnight zone. From here down, the only light that exists is light the animals make themselves. The pressure is already crushing. The water is near freezing, and there is nothing to eat but whatever falls from above. So the hunters here don't chase. They wait and they trick. This is the home of the anglerfish. A mouth full of glass teeth with a glowing lure dangling in front of it, switched on to look like a meal. Anything that swims toward that little light is the meal. Now let's go below the anglerfish. Because we're not close to the bottom. At 4000 meters, you reach the abyss. The abyssal plain is the single largest habitat on the planet. A flat, black, freezing desert of mud that covers most of the ocean floor. The pressure here would crush a submarine that wasn't built for it. And yet it's not empty. Ghost white creatures crawl across it. Sea cucumbers, blind shrimp, things with no name yet. They survive on marine snow. A slow, endless drift of dead scraps sinking from the sunlit world you left 7 kilometers above. Everything down here is eating the leftovers of everything up there. And then, in a few places, the floor drops away again. These are the trenches. The deepest is the Mariana Trench, and its lowest point is nearly 11,000 meters down. If you dropped Mount Everest into it, the peak would still be more than a mile underwater. The pressure at the bottom is over 1,000 times what you feel standing on a beach. And even here at the very bottom of the world, there is life. The deepest fish we've ever filmed, a small, pale, almost gentle-looking snailfish, was recorded around 8,000 meters down, calmly swimming in the one place that should be impossible. So here's the part that should stop you. We have detailed maps of Mars. We've driven robots across it. But the deep ocean, our own planet, right underneath us, we have directly seen almost none of it. By recent estimates, humans have laid eyes on only a tiny fraction of 1% of the deep sea floor. Everything I just showed you, that's from the sliver we've managed to visit. The rest is still down there in the dark, unseen. So the ocean doesn't hide one monster. It hides a whole descending world of them, stacked in layers of pressure and cold and black, most of it never once looked at by human eyes. So the ocean doesn't hide one monster. It hides a whole descending world of them, stacked in layers of pressure and cold and black, most of it never once looked at by human eyes. You've stood in the top of it your whole life. You've swum in the sunlight zone, felt the warm water, seen the colors, but you've never seen what lives below the light. Most of what lives down there has never been named. Science has cataloged maybe 20,000 species in the deep ocean. Researchers estimate there are 1 million more waiting to be found. The creatures down there don't waste energy. In a world where food is so rare that some fish go months without eating, every movement costs. So they've evolved to be still, to wait, to use light as a weapon. But waiting isn't the only strategy. Some creatures are built to run, to flee. The hatchetfish has eyes that point straight up, watching for the silhouette of prey above. The barrel-eyed fish has a transparent head and tubular eyes that rotate to look upward or forward. And then there are the ambush predators. The viperfish doesn't hunt by sight, it hunts by vibration. Its body is lined with neuromasts, sensory organs that detect the smallest movement in the water. A fish swimming 50 meters away sends ripples that a viperfish can feel. The gulper eel is built like a mouth with a tail. Its jaws can unhinge to swallow prey larger than itself, but it almost never finds prey that big. Most of the time, it's eating whatever falls from above: dead plankton, bits of skin, feces from the sunlit world. Marine snow is the lifeblood of the deep. Every organism down here depends on it. It's the rain of the abyss, a constant, slow drift of dead things falling from the light above. Fecal pellets, dead plankton, bits of skin, entire corpses of whales. A whale falls, a dead whale sinking to the bottom can feed an entire ecosystem for decades. Sharks and hagfish arrive first, tearing at the soft tissue. Then crabs and snails move in. Then bacteria colonize the bones, releasing sulfides that feed chemosynthetic bacteria. A single whale corpse becomes a thriving oasis in the desert. But whale falls are rare. Most creatures never encounter one. Most live and die on a diet of particles and scraps, competing with billions of others for the same falling debris. It's a harsh existence. And yet life persists. Life always finds a way. Some creatures have learned to hunt the hunters. The six-gill shark, a primitive predator that has barely changed in 200 million years, rises from the abyss at night to feed on smaller hunters in the twilight zone. It hunts by smell, following chemical trails in the water. Its brain is mostly nose. But even the six-gill shark is not the apex. The sperm whale dives deeper than any shark, hunting giant squid in the midnight zone. A single whale can consume a ton of squid in one dive, hunting in the total dark using echolocation. It is the largest toothed predator that has ever lived. The giant squid itself is a hunter, armed with suckers lined with teeth and eyes the size of dinner plates. For centuries, humans only found dead specimens washed ashore. The first live footage was captured less than 20 years ago. We still don't know where they breed or how long they live. Most deep-sea creatures will never encounter a whale or a giant squid. They live in a slower, quieter world. The Dumbo octopus, named for its ear-like fins, drifts across the abyssal plain at 6,000 meters, moving barely faster than a falling leaf. It feeds on the bodies of dead animals that settle on the mud. The seafloor itself is alive with scavengers. Sea cucumbers, which are essentially living stomachs, crawl across the mud and vacuum up whatever nutrition they can extract from the ooze. Some species can survive up to 10 years without eating. They are the garbage collectors of the abyss. But some areas of the abyss are not empty deserts. Hydrothermal vents, cracks in the Earth's crust where superheated water erupts, create oases of life. Around these vents, bacteria thrive on chemicals instead of sunlight. And where bacteria thrive, predators follow. These vent ecosystems are so isolated that they have evolved creatures found nowhere else on Earth. Some scientists believe that life itself may have started around vents like these, billions of years ago in the deep ocean in the dark. The surface may have been the afterthought. Yet even these isolated oases are fragile. The deep ocean is changing. Ocean acidification is increasing. Oxygen levels are dropping in some regions. Temperatures are rising, even at the bottom of the world. The creatures that evolved over millions of years to thrive in a specific set of conditions are now facing a changing world. We've only just begun to understand the deep ocean. Every expedition discovers new species. Scientists estimate that 90% of the ocean's biomass lives in the deep. That means most of Earth's animal life exists in a realm we've barely explored. Most of it will die without ever being cataloged by science. So when you stand on a beach and look out at the ocean, remember this. Beneath those waves, 7 miles down, entire worlds are moving in the darkness. Creatures are hunting, dying, being born, evolving. Ecosystems are thriving or collapsing. And almost none of it has ever been seen by human eyes. The deep ocean is not a mystery. It's a frontier, and we've only just arrived. Most of what lives down there will never leave. They are built for pressure and cold. Their bodies are soft, almost gelatinous, so the crushing weight doesn't rupture them. Their bones are thin or missing entirely. Their muscles are minimal. They are designed to survive on almost nothing. A blind shrimp crawls across the mud, its antennae stretched out like fingers, reading the chemical signals in the water. It has never seen light. It will never see light. But it knows where food is, and it knows when a predator is close. Sea cucumbers, the vacuum cleaners of the abyss, drift across the bottom like slow, fleshy clouds. They are eating mud. Literally, the mud contains the scraps of everything that died above, and that is enough. But the abyss is not peaceful. It is a competition for scraps. When a whale dies and sinks to the bottom, a whale fall, it becomes a feast. Thousands of creatures converge on it, eating and fighting in a frenzy that lasts for years. Higher up, in the midnight zone, the hunters are still waiting. A viperfish hangs motionless in the water, its needle teeth exposed, its bioluminescent photophores running down its body like a neon sign. It is not hunting. It is advertising. The viperfish is advertising to its own kind. Down here, light is a language. Bioluminescence is not just about hunting. It is about finding mates, warning rivals, and signaling danger. Every glow has a meaning. And then there are the creatures that glow red. Red is invisible down here, it looks like black. So red glowing fish are invisible to most creatures, but not to the ones that can see red. It is the ultimate advantage, a secret signal. But the most terrifying hunters don't glow at all. They are black, completely black, invisible against the black water. And they hunt by sound, by pressure waves, by the faintest electrical signals. They are the perfect predators in perfect darkness. This is the world beneath the waves. Not one ecosystem, not one type of life, but layers upon layers of survival, adaptation, and hunting. Each layer colder, darker, and more alien than the last, and we have barely looked at any of it. And here is the truth that should haunt you. We know more about the surface of Mars than we know about the floor of our own ocean. We have mapped it, photographed it, driven robots across it. But the deep ocean, we have seen almost none of it. Most of it remains unseen. Most of it remains unknown. And most of the creatures down there, most of the life on this planet, we will never meet. Seen almost none of it. By recent estimates, humans have laid eyes on only a tiny fraction of 1% of the deep seafloor. Everything shown so far comes from the sliver we've managed to visit. The rest is still down there in the dark, unseen, waiting. So the ocean does not hide one monster. It hides a whole descending world of them, stacked in layers of pressure and cold and black. Most of it has never once been looked at by human eyes. You have stood in the top of it your whole life. Now you know what is underneath. And the question is no longer what lives down there. The question is, how much of it is still out there, unknown? How many creatures have never been named? How many lights have never been seen? In 2014, a research submersible filmed a snailfish at 8,000 meters, calmly swimming in a place that should be impossible. It had no name. It still barely does. Scientists simply call it by a number and a depth. The deepest point on Earth is the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. Nearly 11,000 meters down. If you dropped Mount Everest into it, the peak would still be more than a mile underwater. The pressure at the bottom is over 1,000 times what you feel standing on a beach. And yet, even here at the very bottom of the world, there is life, not just surviving, living, moving, hunting, existing in the one place that should be impossible. But here is what haunts us most. We have mapped Mars in perfect detail. We have driven robots across its surface. We have photographed every canyon, every crater. But the deep ocean, our own planet right underneath us, we have directly seen almost none of it. We know more about a dead planet 225 million kilometers away than we know about the living world beneath our feet. And the deeper you go, the less we know. The abyss is not empty. It is full of questions we have not asked yet. So take a breath. Imagine falling straight down through the ocean again. You know what waits for you now. The light will leave. The pressure will build. And in the darkness, something is waiting to hunt. Something we have never named. Something we have never seen. If this got under your skin, I made a video on the oldest animals alive right now. Some of them are older than entire countries. Some have been alive since before humans learned to write. Watch it next. The mystery does not stop here.